Many are upset over the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, with some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money. Allegedly, there's this script that got leaked showing how the fight was supposed to go down between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are now facing a lawsuit for what's being called one of the biggest scams in recent boxing history. Seriously, what were you two thinking? Fans waited 6 long months for this so-called legendary fight, only to be handed a scripted disaster. Sure, there might be explanations, but let's be honest. Why hype up an event to such epic proportions if you were just going to deliver a complete letdown? This wasn't just a waste of time, money, and energy. It was a slap in the face to millions of devoted boxing fans.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Interesting.
Script.
How so? What do you mean by
It's just
script?
weird. It just
Like
Mike-
scripted in what way?
no, I don't know. I actually really like Jake Paul. It just seems so. It's odd, bro.
The timing. It's a timing.
I mean,
He
it's
fights
obviously
two-
odd.
No, he fights 2 no names, beats them both.
How do you plan to make up for this disaster? The damage is already done. Trust in the sport has been shattered, and convincing fans to believe in a real fight again feels next to impossible. It's not just your reputations on the line. You've tarnished the image of boxing itself. Congratulations, you've officially taken the sport to a new low.
Well, X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days.
Fans shelled out millions for this train wreck. Pay-per-view sales skyrocketed. Tickets sold out in no time, and anticipation was through the roof. And what did we get? A fight so staged that even WWE fans were unimpressed. Jake walked away with a $4 million payday. Tyson pocketed a cool $20 million, and the audience. They were left holding the bag, an empty one, no less. To top it all off, a leaked script surfaced, detailing round-by-round predictions that matched the fight perfectly. Surprise, surprise. Now furious fans are suing, calling it exactly what it was: false advertising at its absolute finest.
And one reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this. So that tells me he's getting bought. So again, it is sad that someone like Mike Tyson.
Round 1 begins, and for a moment, there's a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, this won't be a disaster. Tyson steps in with his classic bob and weave, while Paul struts around like he's the second coming of Muhammad Ali. Tyson lands a couple of jabs, Paul responds with a quick combo, and then, wait, is this for real? Tyson's timing is so off, it looks like he's boxing in slow motion, while Paul seems more concerned with not tripping over his own ego than actually fighting. The energy in the ring is as fake as the hype leading up to it.
Go down. So round 1 was supposed to go like this. The opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style. Paul maintains distance, circling the ring cautiously. Tyson lands a few jabs, but Paul's youth shows in his superior ability.
Round 2 kicks off, and Tyson lands a solid left hook that sends the crowd into a frenzy for about 5 seconds. Then reality sets in. Tyson's gas tank is already running on empty, while Paul, buzzing with the energy of a kid on a sugar high, bounces around the ring like he's in a schoolyard scuffle.
Round 2. Tyson comes alive, cutting off the ring more effectively. He lands a thunderous left hook to Paul's body that draws a collective gasp from the crowd. Paul weathers the storm, using his reach advantage.
By round 3, Paul's ego is fully inflated. He lands a decent right cross that briefly stuns Tyson. Tyson attempts to fight back, but it's painfully obvious his signature moves have turned into sluggish flails. Meanwhile, Paul is strutting around like he just knocked out the ghost of Muhammad Ali. It's embarrassing, not just for Tyson, not just for Paul, but for the entire sport of boxing.
Paul gains confidence, starting to plant his feet more. He lands a sharp right cross that momentarily stuns Tyson. The former champion responds with a vintage combination, but Paul slips most of it.
The grand finale, a scripted knockout punch in round 5. Did we get it? Of course not. Instead, we were treated to a drawn-out decision win for Jake Paul. Fans, both in the arena and watching at home, must have felt like they'd wasted not just their money, but their precious time. They didn't tune in for an amateur performance, they tuned in for a battle of legends. What they got was more like a bad high school drama production with boxing gloves.
Catches him flush on the chin. Tyson's leg buckle and he drops to the canvas. Then he's out for the count, but Tyson, despite his warrior heart, cannot beat the 10 count. Winner Jake Paul by KO. What?
But let's address the real elephant in the room, Mike Tyson's health. Just months before this circus act, Tyson was literally fighting for his life. He underwent 8 blood transfusions and lost half his blood due to complications from an ulcer. And somehow, someone decided, yeah, this guy's ready to fight. Texas, you deserve a round of applause for setting the bar so low, it's practically underground. Their medical clearance process is a joke. Tyson, who had lost 25 pounds and was recovering from a near-death experience, was thrown into the ring with a guy half his age, and we're supposed to believe this wasn't a cash grab.
I'm glad to see that because if I hadn't saw that, I would be worried that this fight may not...
Tyson didn't even try to hide it. He straight up admitted, I did it for my bills. Think about that. The man who once ruled the boxing world, reduced to participating in a scripted circus just to cover his expenses. It's tragic. Tyson walked away with $20 million, sure, but at what cost? His legacy, his dignity, everything that made him a legend. Honestly, it's heartbreaking to watch someone who once stood at the top of the sport stoop this low.
And one reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this. So that tells me he's getting bought. So again, it is sad that someone like Mike...
And Jake Paul, where do we even begin? This guy keeps branding himself as the savior of boxing, but in reality, he's the one who turned the sport into a clown show, complete with scripted fights and fake rivalries. Tyson, a man who deserves so much better, became just another pawn in Jake's ego-driven spectacle.
Power at all. No. He hit you with one, and you gave him the tongue. Only because the crowd, got turned up.
But let's not give Tyson a free pass here either. This fight wasn't about skill or legacy. It was all about cold, hard cash. Jake Paul didn't just fight Tyson, he used him. Tyson became the bait, the legendary name Jake needed to pull off yet another payday, disguised as a boxing match. This wasn't a competition. It was a money grab dressed up as a historic event. Fans shelled out their hard-earned money for tickets and pay-per-view, thinking they were about to witness an epic clash. Instead, they got what felt like a YouTube parody of a real fight. The only thing missing was Jake vlogging mid-round about how he's revolutionizing boxing.
It seemed like he was just going through the motions, and now we might know why. After the fight happened, everyone all over the sport started debating whether it was all just a cash grab. But can we...
And then Jake had the audacity to say, I didn't want to hurt Mike. Oh please, let's not pretend this was some noble act of restraint. Jake Paul isn't a hero sparing a legend. He's a businessman, milking every last drop of Tyson's legacy for his own profit. And Tyson, let's be honest, he knew exactly what this was. He literally said he took the fight to pay his bills.
Fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my appearance. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Yeah.
Imagine being the heavyweight champion of the world, a boxing icon, and ending up as a supporting actor in Jake Paul's reality show. It's tragic. The backlash has been deserved and brutal. Boxing legends like Evander Holyfield and Buster Douglas didn't hold back, ripping this fight apart. Holyfield pointed out Tyson's disastrous balance and movement, while Douglas didn't mince words, calling it a cash grab that spit in the face of boxing's integrity. And they're right. Tyson, once a force of nature, was reduced to a sluggish shadow of his former self. while Jake strutted around like he'd just redefined the sport.
You know, your friend Mike Tyson tweeted that he almost died over the summer. He said, he had a bunch of blood transfusions, just had to fight to get healthy, and then his performance yesterday against Jake Paul. Just your thoughts on what we saw.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong.
For fans, the whole thing was an insult. Pay-per-view outages and Netflix streaming failures only added fuel to the fire, making the experience even worse. You shell out top dollar for a fight that was promised to be thrilling, only to end up staring at buffering screens, or worse, witnessing a painfully lackluster performance. It's like ordering a luxury meal and being handed stale fast food. And if the fight itself wasn't bad enough, the leaked script made everything even more unbearable. However, fans didn't just feel cheated. They felt played. The match unfolded exactly as the leaked script predicted, only fueling suspicions that the whole thing was choreographed. And honestly, how could anyone believe otherwise? This wasn't a fight. It was Dooley the Lulu without the pyrotechnics.
But my kids, to my children, I'm nobody. But that night they're gonna find out their father's very special.
His social media, of course, exploded. Memes roasting Jake Paul and Mike Tyson flooded every platform. Fans dubbed the fight boxing's biggest joke, calling out both fighters for staging what many saw as a glorified exhibition. And then the lawsuits. Oh, they came rolling in. Bettors who'd staked their money on what they thought would be a real competition were furious. Who can blame them? Millions were wagered on this circus, and the outcome felt as predictable as a soap opera for now.
Well, X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago.
But let's zoom out for a moment. This fight wasn't just a disappointment. It was a glaring example of everything that's wrong with modern boxing. Fans and critics alike agree. Jake Paul's fights are more about theatrics than actual talent. He's not a boxer, he's a brand. And Tyson, watching him struggle in the ring, was heartbreaking. The man who once dominated boxing now looked like he was just trying to make it to the next round. It wasn't inspiring, it was sad.
I think I can handle this situation.
You gonna knock him out?
I think I'm gonna hurt him, yeah.
Tyson's
Here's the harsh truth. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson took $60 million from fans and left them with nothing but regret. Tyson's legacy took a hit, and Jake Paul solidified his reputation as the king of hype over substance. It was a betrayal. Fans don't ask for much. They want real competition, not a scripted spectacle. If this is the future of boxing, we might as well bring in theme music and choreographed dance routines. It's not like they're even trying to hide it anymore.